The jazz program was initiated as an opportunity to bring various universities and students from across the world together to learn through participation, through engaging with international organizations specializing in trade policies and trade measures, but also to enable students to learn from one another, share perspectives, and get a deeper understanding of global trade affairs.
The students really get value in learning about themselves through their encounters with other students from around the world, and in addition, also meet lecturers and international civil servants that are all converged right here in the mecca of trade at the WTO and in UNCTAD and ITC.
Yes, I would definitely recommend this program to anybody who's looking to have a career in trade.
A joint partnership will be beneficial. What do you think?
It was really a great experience, particularly on the first day when we did the mock negotiation, getting new perspectives and ways of doing things and also strategizing, and I'd love to do it again.
Our students, once they've done it for the first time, they feel the need to do it again because they want to improve. They want to develop their skill set. Negotiations doesn't operate in a vacuum. Personalities matter.
I encourage you to keep pushing, and I encourage you to stay connected.
Well, I think the benefit is twofold. From our end, we get a lot of feedback from the students. It challenges us to see, trade and small business development from an external lens. Some things are very obvious to us, but some things are not. And so when we get questions about why aren't you doing more of this, or how can you do more of that, then it challenges us to take stock and help us to realize, we need to adjust. But then I think on the part of the students, there are so many different angles for their career development. So I hope they got that from this session.
Presenting my research proposal today really helped me with navigating how I would want to pursue this research topic, and hearing the feedback from the different professors from the different universities, that was really insightful.
So I want to start my PhD journey. So this program had the specific input of giving me an opportunity to present my ideas and get feedback.
So on the multilateral stage, we have several processes going on.
Today we had one session with a delegate from Colombia who became now the director of negotiations at the WTO, and who was responsible for making sure that one of the big agreements of the WTO over the past 20 years got signed. And he was able to tell students how it is to do this job, what it takes to get to an agreement.
You don't get every day the chance to go to WTO, meet WTO officials and exchange ideas, projects, objectives with those who actually have a say in whether these projects and ideas will ever see the light.
It was so inspiring and encouraging that I see that top leader on the international organization mostly are women, that it was very, very inspiring and encouraging me to be maybe one day I might be like them.
Thank you, good morning, and welcome to you. We're so glad to have you at the World Trade Organization.
When I was a student, I really would have wanted to have had the opportunity to come here to the World Trade Organization and speak to other professionals that are practicing what I had been studying. It's not the same thing thinking of, what will I do later on after I graduate, when you get to speak to people that are actually practicing. So I'm really glad that I was able to interact and show them a little bit of the work I do and my career development.
I feel incredibly privileged to be able to come here, being able to see the buildings, see the architecture, be able to understand the feeling of being in a city that makes policy run it's kind of magical.
I think the JUICE program would give you a huge leg up as a student over other students, in the sense that you can honestly say that you have walked the halls of the World Trade Organization. You've seen what it does. It is such a hard world to picture if you have never sat in one of those chairs, if you've never spoken to someone who does it every day.
The advantage of JUST is that students actually bring alive and learn from each other and create the networks that are going to be indispensable for multilateral action. There's no other experience I can approximate to having that done. And in Geneva, the mecca of trade.
These kind of exposures are just incomparable. I think at a point in time when universities are competing for students and they need to show that their courses deliver ultimately in employment, I would see this as being just a central element of what universities need to do to prepare their students for the world of work.